Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
I mean, how lovely. Who knew she was even that flexible? Let's do this. Give her, I want all the information. I want all the information. I still want her to go to jail for a little while. We'll set her in prison for a little while, but maybe not as long. That's all. But I want all the information.
Yeah, we were saying the fact that it's, Jody, 6 years probation means that she's going to have to talk. I mean, you can get probation revoked, as we were saying. It just, I don't know, Dana, quickly, this just broke. But, the legal experts are saying Trump is, what's the legal term? Effed.
Yeah.
He's royal.
Yeah, that was good. It's the find out part of January 6th, that's right. For sure.
Yeah, well, this is, of course, the Georgia case. So this is Monday was supposed to start as we call it, the Cheese and Kraken trial. Ken Cheeseborough, but this Cheeseborough. But we'll have to see now what happens. Does the cheese slip off the Kraken? What happens to him? Because now this puts pressure on him to flip as well, right?
I mean, he's a mess. He's a hot mess. So I imagine he's not going to want to go to prison. I would think so. But the other thing is with this probation, Sidney Powell can't commit crimes for another 6 years. And I don't know how she's going to possibly avoid that.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of lack of leadership, let's talk about the GOP show because I just can't.
Oh, goodness, let's do that.
Jim Jordan getting ready to lose again today.
By more.
Right. By even more.
Mike Huckabee has a sad, which I know makes you sad, Dana. Hang on. Here we go. Mike Huckabee.
This has gone on way too long. There are crises across the world. And it's been, frankly, a disaster for Republicans in general. It's just a bad look. And I think it's time for Republicans to do what Democrats are so good at. Circle the wagons. If they have disagreements, do it behind the scenes, but don't take it out there where everybody can see the fists flying. It's just been a disaster.
I love this. Condi tweeted, Republicans are so unserious. Someone really just voted for John Boehner. Which I'm going to guess made him cry. It's the American people.
He doesn't want to do that again.
I started in a tavern and now I got to vote again for Speaker of the House. Oh. Okay. I don't know what to say. They're just, what of them? 7 of them vote for Scalise, 8 for McCarthy. It just, he lost votes. Mm-hmm. Jim Jordan had less votes on the second vote, and he reportedly will have even less on the third vote.
I also love that they were like, what I think they were having women leave or something, something wrong with their shoes or something they were wearing where Jim Jordan can't even put on a blazer. I'm just so tired of the hypocrisy in the House. And we know this, it's really funny on one level and it's terrifying on another level. The world is looking at this right now because our government is in disarray, half of it.
Yeah.
The Democrats, not so much, but half of our government's not functioning, which means the entire part's not functioning.
Yeah. And also, I don't think enough people point out, as we do, that Jim Jordan is E.T. dying in the Krieg gray. He is very gray. Yeah. There's something medically wrong. Oh, did Elliot Engel get to vote? When he voted for Jeffries, did Jim Jordan say Elliot?
I don't think Elliot Engel's in the House anymore.
No? Come on, give me an Elliot joke. Isn't there an Elliot?
I don't think he's in the House anymore.
Elliot. Did he try to bribe him with Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
He was still in the House, yes.
Okay, Dana, here's my point.
I'm sure Matt Gaetz probably gave him the Reese's Pieces. He's like, I use this to get girls into the van. Matt Gaetz is like, I have extra candy.
Dana Louise.
I have extra candy.
Okay, their other idea is to make this little tiny angriest leprechaun, what's his name? Speaker Pro Tem Patrick McHenry, who is 5'5".
Mm-hmm. I'm taller than he is.
We'd have to bring in a mini band, wouldn't we?
We represent the lollipop.
Yeah, he got a smaller chair so he doesn't look so.
I see a little silhouette of a man.
See, that was the chair that was there, and then he brought in a smaller chair so that
so he doesn't look like Ernie the Keebler elf.
Yeah.
He's also probably sitting on 4 phone booths that we just can't.
They'll do a little line of pecan sandies. That's how he'll find.
Yeah.
Okay, Dana, we're just it's Sexy Liberal Week. We're just we're a little bit. We're a little bit, losing our collective shizzle. Okay, Dana Goldberg's here, so everything's better automatically.
Always.
What? And you look like you had a fantastic time. You look beautiful at the HRC, the Human Rights Campaign event. And I heard the President and First Lady got, at least a minute standing ovation when they came out?
It was fantastic. Dr. Joe Biden spoke first, and the president stood behind, and they both made jokes. And they're just such caring, empathic people. But the audience was all there for it. They've done so much to support the LGBTQ community, and I know most of the community. There's some outliers, but we want another 4 years. So I'm hoping people get motivated to get out and vote, because unless that happens, we have a massive voting contingency in our allies. Over 6 million. If we got out and voted, we'd be able to actually control this election. So I hope that people do.
Yeah, we played a little bit, but I thought the president has just hit such amazing, perfect notes on this Middle East trip. It was amazing. Here's a little bit more.
It has brought to the surface painful memories and scars left by millennia of anti-Semitism and the genocide of the Jewish people. The world watched then. It knew, and the world did nothing. We will not stand by and do nothing again. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever.
And then he spoke, to the empathy. We all know his story, but he speaks sort of with an empathy about that I've never seen in a president. Here he is, one more.
To those who are living in limbo, waiting desperately to learn the fate of a loved one, especially to families of the hostages, you're not alone. We're working with partners throughout the region, pursuing every avenue to bring home those who are being held captive by Hamas. I can't speak publicly about all the details, but let me assure you, for me, as the American president, there's no higher priority than the release and safe return of all these hostages. To those who are grieving, a child, a parent, a spouse, a sibling, a friend, I know you feel like there's that black hole in the middle of your chest. You feel like you're being sucked into it.
The Biden administration announced new sanctions on Hamas, targeting their vast financial network, to which I say good. The sanctions target 10 members of Hamas, as well as a Qatar-based financial facilitator with ties to Iran. Secretary Yellen said in a statement, the U.S. is taking swift and decisive action to target Hamas's financiers and facilitators following its brutal and unconscionable massacre of Israeli civilians, including children. The U.S. Treasury has a long history of effectively disrupting terror finance, and we will not hesitate to use our tools against Hamas. I mean, I've been saying over and over, every part of this breaks my heart, Dana, including the innocent Palestinian children. But it's just
Yes,
a lot of these guys are sitting over there at the Ritz, and Hamas leaders in Qatar, while they're using women, civilians as human shields.
As pawns. It's horrifying. Yeah, and I think a lot of people, please be careful of what you're reading online and taking sides and realizing this is about humanity. There's a lot of innocent people on both sides that are getting slaughtered in this war. It's not just the Jews, it's Palestinians, it's children, it's women, it's awful. So please make sure you stay in touch with your humanity and try not to be so reactive when you read things or when you're talking to other people. I've got family in Israel, but I also care deeply for the Palestinian people that are innocent.
Yeah. And I was saying earlier, I thought Frangela made such a smart point that I hadn't heard anyone else make, but they were just talking about that, the Israelis, they feel like also use human beings as pawns in the settlements. And it's one of the things we should say is stop building settlements and inflaming things. And those people are, they're saying that, we're in this geopolitical fight, and they're also pawns, just like Hamas uses, civilians as pawns. And it's heartbreaking for, the whole, I don't know how this cycle ever ends. Do you? I don't.
I don't. It's a war that's been going on for decades, if not longer. And I think that we have to remember, like sometimes, during the Trump administration, people could have looked at our country and said, "What's wrong with the people of the United States? How can you support that government?" And we don't. There's a very large contingency in Israel that doesn't necessarily believe that Netanyahu is doing the right thing, and we have to remember that as well.
Yeah. No, I was saying that the latest polling shows the vast majority want him out. And that's what I was saying. I feel like Joe Biden is filling that void of leadership right now too. Anyway,
he's a very empathic man, like you said. He's had so much loss. If to anyone to speak on this, I know sometimes politicians say things because that's what they're supposed to do. The soundbite. Joe Biden has had so much deep loss. When something comes out of his mouth, empathetic toward people who have had loss, believe it. It is real. It is real.
Yeah. There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine. I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.